Hey now, today I am going to try to make a white chocolate cranberry almond sourdough. The first step for this though is just to mix in the dough. I'm just using, it's 100% just baker's flour, and I'm going for a 75% hydration. And I'm going to mix this all up for a few minutes and let it go through the autolyse for probably a couple of hours here until my leaven is ready. Okay, we've had an autolyse here for a couple of hours, and I've got my leaven all ready to rock here. You can check my video on how to make leaven. I'm going to be adding 25% leaven, so since this was 500 grams flour, we're going for 125 grams of leaven. A little bit too much there. I'm making a couple of loaves here today, so I'll just pull a little bit back out. And now what I'm going to do is just moisten my hands here with some filtered water. And I'm going to mix this up here for probably 2 or 3 minutes, just until it seems like it's fully incorporated. Then I'm going to let it rest for half an hour, and then it's time to add the salt and some goodies. Oh, one other thing here is just, I'm going to take my cranberries, and I'm using, these are dried cranberries, and it's going to make up 25% based on baker's percentage, and I'm going to use 30%. This is just filtered water. And I'm just going to let them kind of soak for this half an hour here, just so that they can rehydrate a little bit and not soak water up out of the bread. Okay, so at this point here, we are ready to add the fine sea salt. So I've got 1.8% of that. I'm going to plunk that in, and then I've just drained my cranberries. And again, that's 25% dried cranberries. I'm going to mix them in now, because that's going to just give me a little bit more room when I go to add the white chocolate chips and the sliced almonds, because I'll do that during the lamination, and I don't want to be loading too much stuff in there all at the same time, or it might not work quite as nicely. So I'm just going to mix this in here for a few minutes until I'm convinced that the salt is mixed all the way through, and I'm going to let it then sit for half an hour, and we'll look at it again. All right, so after that 30 minutes, it's time for our first stretch and fold. So I'm just going to pull it up as far as I can without tearing. I'm going to give it 4 stretches. And 1 more. Then I'm going to cover it up, let it sit for half an hour, and then it'll be time for some coil folds. Okay, now actually before the coil fold, I'm going to do the lamination, and that'll be the time where I get to add the almonds and, just got a spray bottle working, the almonds and the white chocolate chips. So I'm just spraying down my work surface here. I'm going with, that's with filtered water, and I'm going to get my dough kind of gently out onto our surface here. And then the trick, if you've seen my video on just making sourdough, or the chocolate sourdough, actually, which is extremely amazing. I do this lamination process, so it's kind of coming from underneath, reaching and stretching it out as gently as possible. I like to keep my hands nice and moist here so they don't stick to the dough itself. And the goal is to try to make a rectangle with it, and then it's going to be folded in on itself. Just trying to get it a little bit thinner, so I have a little bit more surface area to work with here, because in addition to creating extra layers here with the dough, I'm going to be essentially folding in the goodies here. So it's pretty close. Yeah, I'd say it's not going to get too much thinner than that without taking another 5 minutes. So we'll just do that. I'm going to take the chips, and I'm going to get them right in the middle here. A bunch of those. I'm going to get some of these almonds. Sprinkle these in. And then I'm going to do a fold. It's just 1/3 of the way over. Just kind of pat it to work out any air pockets that might be in there. And we're going to put in some more chips. This is a really nice way to layer stuff like this into your bread. Get some more of these almonds in here. Awesome. Then we're going to fold again this way, up over top of it. Give her a little pat. Then we're going to be folding like this and like this. So first of all, just go like so. Get some of these almonds in here. Not going to get quite all the almonds in here. Add some in a bit. And get the rest of those chips in here. Oh man, there's so much stuff. Whatever. Okay, there's all of the nuts. Sweet. Folding it over like that, and then I'm just going to get my bowl back. Somebody stole it on me here. Perfect. And just kind of scooping everything up, put it back in here. I'm gonna let this sit for half an hour, and then we'll begin the coil folds. All right, so it's just time for the coil folds here. Now this is totally loaded up with stuff, so it's not folding under super droopy like, but we will do what we can. I'm gonna do a series of probably 3 coil folds like this, covering in between, giving half an hour each, and then we'll check it out from there. All right, so we're looking fermented enough here. It's still pretty firm because of all of the cranberries and nuts and chocolate in there. So I'm just gonna scoop it out, like so. Whew. Give it a quick free shape. This thing is so solid right now. Done. Okay, gonna let this sit here for maybe 10 or 20 minutes. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it and go from there. All right, so we've let it sit for 20 minutes here. And yeah, it's still super firm. Just gonna tighten it up a little bit. And then a quick little sprinkle of flour and get it in the banneton. Cover up, overnight refrigeration, and we'll bake in the morning. All right, so the next day, here we are. Look at that, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cover it up with some parchment. I'm going to flip. Oh, actually, you know what? Because it's got this chocolate stuff on the bottom, I'm going to give it a little extra rice flour here. Just so hopefully it doesn't burn or scorch as much on the bottom because of those sugars and whatnot. Parchment, I'm going to flip. Going to give a little rice flour to the top. Then I shall score. Ooh. Oh no! Disaster. Okay. These chips getting in the way. I'm going to give it a score here, and then we're going to get it into the oven. I have the oven preheated at 500 degrees. I'm going to drop that down to 450 and give it half an hour. So we will check on that in a bit. All right, so here we are. I'm going to uncover it. Oh, it smells amazing in here. So chocolatey. What I'm going to do though, again, just in the hopes to not scorch as much, I'm going to carefully pop this out of the cast iron and give it half an hour at 440. Okay, after another half hour at 440, here is our bread. Oh my goodness, you cannot possibly understand how amazing this smells right now. This beautiful, beautiful white chocolate aroma coming off of this. It's going to be super hard to let this cool down and not just try to devour it now, but that's what we're going to have to do. Well, it has been a couple of hours here, so this is all nicely cooled down. It is time to slice into this white chocolate, cranberry, almond sourdough. So let's take a peek here. Oh man, look at that. Beautiful cranberries all the way throughout. You can get the little chunks of chocolate chips there. I can see some almonds. I need to try this out. Thin little slice here. See if it's everything I hoped and dreamed it could be. Still just smells like white chocolate. It's beautiful. That really beautiful light white chocolate flavor, and then the tartness of the cranberries, and then you get a little crunch of almond here and there. This is amazing. This is super fun. This would be great for the holidays. It got really cold today, so yeah, this is a perfect bread to eat here on a chilly afternoon. So anyway, yeah, if you like, subscribe, check out some more sweet videos, and until next time, keep her at 11.